tani thomar nga cho terang dana yung khenga tani bobai na re tani maimba mojamba re chamala thomar tani gomo delak kan samjigin.
So I'd like to first by saying good evening to everybody who's come here tonight, both Tibetans and people from other places as well.
Tini terang acho tini Australia jarnzikal hopcha dinala yongne ngachon chatchit tini sheke korkup yosungwa tela ngape gabo sungsung.
And I'm very pleased to have this opportunity tonight here at ANU to be able to speak with you.
Tini terang tsangma ngarang chatchin dela tini nyansa yongwala tini tujichi jigin.
So thank you everyone for coming to this teaching tonight.
Tini terang acho gang shabadi ngacho gang shakre zena cho ngacho tani nangchu la tini ngacho semti par ke yangbo shegona kanji shego rezini ngacho josha tindis kapshang tindis shagre.
So the topic tonight is how from a Buddhist perspective, we go about making our minds very open and very wide and living in this manner.
Tini ngacho tangrib kummo chigla tini samlo tangna shok chigni ngacho ko samlo ti par jachimbo da goyangbo tini go jeyang da tini jachi chi njogo yo res shok chigni samlo tangna.
From one point of view, we might say that contemporary people or modern people, that their minds or their attitudes are becoming increasingly open.
Teni pe nga cho murugyenare, chulugyenare, teni nga cho me papa teni khatok jada manja parla yenare, to changma parla teni nga cho ji panchang chi la teni shung yangbo, ge yangbo shi ti so tola. Teni ngama la tuna lo ja gong la tuna teni tarta titola teni pe har yakbo ke yangbo yakbon ro ndu yore sin zambolong tola.
If we look at it in terms of attitudes to people's different ethnicities or different religious beliefs, different colors of skin, etc., we might say that attitudes today are somewhat improved on what they were 100 years ago.
Teni yang shok chini shal sana teni ngacho ko samlo te halepa ko tobu re kanduzi.
However, if we look at it from another perspective, we might say that in other ways we're extremely narrow in our attitudes or frames of mind.
Teni samlo te ko chetok re ne teni ngacho teni samlo ti ngupo chila teni tambo shini zung ne teni ta tamdo zung ne teni shini ta teni ko tobu re. Teni samlo chik nga chu teni ngupo chik la tambo shini zong ne par tang matha pa teni chak yore ze tarta.
You might say that we have clasped onto an object, material object, in an extremely tight way, almost an increasingly tight way, and have become extremely narrow in one sense.
Teni ti ngi ti no ne nga chu samlo te zu ke yangbon ra ore o pa ti thong ne teni nga cho rungni manjawa yinanja murug manjawa yinanja teni chik la panchang kwa yakbo lenya da chik la teni chik thumo dang rugbu yongwa da tsu tola yang nga cho la halepa pantho yang yonggendu.
Now, of these two different or these two reverse trends, the first one, our tendency to becoming increasingly open or wide, this coming about through increasing interactions, increasing contact between people, improved education, etc. This is clearly a very beneficial trend.
Teni samlo ko tobu re ne teni nga chu ngupo chila tambo shini zung ne teni par tang matha pa teni samba par kashi anda o teni she matha pa ti teni nga chu chowa ga tola teni yang mi ger kan chowa ga tola yang pe nyota mambo zuri yongandus.
However, the opposite trend, and that is to be so grasped so tightly onto a particular object that we're simply not able to release our grip. This is something that brings us great strife in our individual lives.
Tendri yendi da nga cho natun titini takchaya ti kan risk che ndi so ger kan chowa ga thola tini cha natun mambu zin chadya khabart mi so simkham ga thola tini natun mambu zin chadya ti thola tini condition ni takchoshe gore samni mi mambu samlo tanga yore je tarta.
In terms about how to go about addressing this latter problem, this latter issue, how to go about addressing it from a psychological perspective is something that many people are thinking about or contemplating these days.
Perna simkham rugpa ga tini samlo tana tini moso sim ga thola tini ko to bore zimba chimbore tini ngubo chiga thola par tini nzini tini sheryung masiwa o tini ga thola natun te takchoya ga tondala tini simkham rugpa ga yang ko so jimjikje tini man mambole In
psychology, there's a great deal of research, energy, and effort devoted to developing drugs to address people's fixations on particular things, their inability to release attachments and to cling and grasp obsessively.
Tela tapshi mambo zute kandi ga tendi yang charik pa nane wangcha ga tendi charik pa te yang tendi jimjik she ndoze.
And there are scientists, cognitive scientists, neuroscientists who are investigating similar things at the level of the cognitive functions of the mind.
Ta yenna yang tendi choma ga tendi jimjik mambo che ga yore ta yenna ta tapshi hale pa ga yakbo zu tarong ni yo mares.
But despite all the great research energy that is being devoted to these issues, we could say that not a particularly successful method for resolving these issues has yet been discovered.
Tani simkham rugpa ga tani shertang ga thapshi khoso mambo zu de jegan duta yenna ga tani khoso thamjik yang khoso tani ta mi sem ga tani dungor da sem ga toni naton mambo zu thachyo ya tela te mochola man thone man ga thone tani ta man mambo zane ti tani te thapshi da besho tang ga doze semkum ru ba inna.
In the psychologists and in psychology, of course, there are many approaches that are taken, but one of the main ones is for patients who are afflicted with such conditions to rely on medication.
Perna nistong trikolola tani sem go to perna tongsir kana te chore ta ti tongsir kana la so pa semkum kana te so tamje po phamba ga tin mang ga thola tani perna america ga na nistong trikolola tani lu chikana la ko so ro song kari jam du zena tani argor tani tongsir trigya ta dunche tamba tani ro song jam du.
It was reported that in the year of 2006, the amount of money that was spent on medication for depression in America was $6 billion.
Tini inna tini ta man to so zana ti nerkab zam tini pantho yok yore ma tok ba tini korang sem gnang tini natun te so chawani thachun roya tini tarong yang yong ya mare.
And of course, such medication can bring temporary relief. However, it's not able to address in a long-term sense the root causes of these problems.
Tani nga cho tarta tani yang chu nyen kha tin sarwa zalam tha ke ores ta ja ga na weichi o tin sarwa zatam tha kan ti sarwa ti kare zina tani pamjur ke tani nyen kha te mares nyen kha te la kare zigre zina tani so te semkham ge nyen kha zi tin ri nga chon jambalang ge ma chama ta sar ke tin ri zalam tha yung dus.
So really, we are approaching, or we're nearly approaching, a kind of crisis. It's not an economic crisis, however, it is a crisis of the mind, a psychological crisis.
For
example, many students who find themselves in university are likely to encounter such issues.
Nistong chonga ga lo tini stong khala tini ngarang teni loma teni the teni lobda chimo teni loma chigdam chasons.
In the autumn of 2015, I met a student or some students, some university students.
Teni korang sacha chik nane teni ta lobda mambu zik nane teni jamde yakshu ang tambu teres.
Well, this actually an individual student was extremely bright, had probably the best results, or was the most outstanding student in a very broad area.
Teni korang jamde pe yakbo yimbati teni jima teni korang teni yang teli zang pena gyanak teni te jarkapchik teni ta lobda ang tambu te sita that korang tinang la jikta ni korang tinang la songdus.
So this student was, in fact, so talented that they were able to, they achieved the highest marks on the most difficult test and were able to attend the most elite school in China.
Teni tinang la ro chari jis teni ta korang ngama yena korang lobda tinang ne korang ang tambu rezi yena yang lobda tinang la ro chari teni chama teni jarkapchik nane ang tambu kyang renduzi.
However, upon arriving at this school and in this class, the other students were also extremely talented and bright and elite students themselves, and so this particular individual was not able to distinguish themselves in the same way they'd been accustomed to.
Teni korang ngama korang ko lobta ngala yo pine kamna ta ngarang ang tambo yinda sambandawo tindi samlo tindi nzunba hale pa tambo resi ta ngarang ang tambo re teni nge lobchok te so tamjepo ta nga tanja mare koso dugbore koso jamde yakbo mend ngarang jamde pe yakbore sambi tini korang ka samba de korang tindi nzunba hale pa chimbo yo resi.
So this student had a particularly strong attachment to the idea of being the best, to being superior to other students, to feeling that other students were less talented than them. This was something, an idea that the student grasped very tightly.
Tani lobta tin nala lepi nerkavna tani lobtok teso changma tani khole tani jamdi yakbo tele kyang zang tani tata indi tani khorang ka sem ka nala tani te tanglin shi mathavni tani dumar hale pachimbo mamboz sem ka nala yungdus.
So upon arriving in this environment and discovering that the other students were just the same as themselves, or in some cases even better, and not being able to accept this fact, the student experienced a great deal of mental suffering.
Tani los chigla khorang ka tani lojong shi ne tani semkam ka tani napa rene ti tonsir ka nat tebne tani korang lobta nani lojong tawani shi mathavni korang par kimla longdus.
And in the course of 1 year of studying at this school, the student was not able to cope with this situation and ended up leaving after a year.
Tani korang kimla yongne dawa khashis desong korang ka phama deso tani chula tapa shinken re tani ngacho satra yongne ta kandi go re thapshi yore de yomare ze tani zegendos.
And the parents of this particular child were Buddhists, and they brought their child to me, and they were asked me if there was anything that they could do to help their child.
Tani ngacho jena te thapshi yore ze karti kyorang ka yakbo tanglin chi thapsona thapshi yore ze tani ngacho kola te gum jaw yan rao tani te lab tani je ngacho sim te par ka yangbo shi ala teni ngaso sim ko par gushi andawo teni ko tapshi tezi labne teni dawa ani rabo teni zlata ngaso ta nyamden rone teni desongse.
And what I responded was that yes, there is a way through both meditation and opening one's mind, broadening one's mind. It is certainly possible to deal with this situation, and over the course of 2 months, this the child who was experiencing these problems regularly came and practiced amongst us.
Tani dawa ni ge jila tini yang korang ta te sem kam yabo re ne hale ba ga yabo tini sangjak tini de remendu ta yena ta monteni lojong shi na lojong shi tamkun tini re song tini yang ko par tini lojang na la chin songs.
And so within these 2 months, you wouldn't say that the student became completely cured, became completely revitalized again, but certainly there was sufficient improvement for them to be able to return to school after a period of 2 months.
Teni te pereze, te perchirete, te pereta, te nyoschipu mare, te muntinja water, casa kawala pe mambunduzi, tinjinja water.
And this is an example. It's just one case, one individual case, but people like this in a similar situation. There are so many of them everywhere.
Teni America lopcha angdang bote so nala yang taga te tinji mambu yondus.
For example, in the best schools of America, the top schools of America, there are lots and lots of people like this.
Teni terang aso lopchan di nang girgen kashi tang aso kabdashi di teni lopchan di nala tinjin dus, tinji segen dus.
And today, chatting with a couple of teachers, they also shared their views that this is a problem that students at this university encounter as well.
Tati kaps tini, tati nge tana tini, te nga so mus chikta, lopchak chikta, yarkav chikta, sapshok chikta, tinjiz mareze, ten zambolanga lopchak, lan zambolanga sasha kansa kawa yena, ti lopchak chishu, lopchak zangshu ti so, tini lopmat mambula, tini tinjiga naton ti yungdus.
And I don't think this is a problem that's restricted to an individual here or an ethnicity there or a nation here or one school there. I think it is probably something that is quite common at top schools and good schools all around the globe.
That tinjiga kaps, ta koranga bena sim partini go yangboshi, tinjishi matavna, tini ti kaps, tini tondag ni yungdus, tondag ni.
So at the point in time when a student or an individual is not able to open their mind or relax their mind, there are essentially two things that happen.
Teni tondak chikda tari nga so kongdo shema takbandawo korang rang sem nala napare ni teni masi cholak tang jowa tenji renjo ndu tes chigrizi te korang rang makash rang lakbarezi mi jan lagyo mare te korang rang masi te langjo ndu te tondak chigrizi.
And the first of these is that the person who experiences this, they develop mental illness and they really destroy their own lives. They're not harming necessarily other people. Who they're primarily harming is themselves.
Tani tondak teli kyang tondak kyushu tarung nduzi, teli kyang kyobo, teli kyang tsapchishu nduzi.
However, the second thing is actually worse than the first.
Teli kyang tsapchiyadi karizina perna korang loma ni yona ti nangne chishu de korang jamje pe yakbo yin ngarang tini dugbo yin na tini nga korang la margani nge korang la chakdok sheni tini korang ka chiyo nang la dug tabne te korang mo jamba te tini te shir roa tenji ga tini lobjaga mambo nang la tini ser mambo shong songs.
There have actually been situations where students who have been seriously afflicted by feelings of competitiveness and jealousy towards others have harbored very negative intentions in respect of the people who were better than them. And in some cases, there have even been situations where they've poisoned other people and caused their deaths.
Teni 대시비 지스 teni ta korang ka lobchok la tuk tabne teni lobchok te sabja bare teni korang yang teni jima ha ko ne teni zongkang ga la teni jigjak se ta teni yenna teni korang rang ma se chama choklak tang mi jang ma se choklak tang ni ka de choklak tang bare.
And in this situation, for example, if students who have done this and then have been found out and have been imprisoned or whatever, anyway, this kind of thing is a situation where not only have they destroyed their own lives, they also have destroyed the lives or harmed very severely the lives of others.
Teni tesu chama de gang gtone yong gduzena zo de nga cho semkam gtone donda ni gtone te yong gduse.
And situations like this arise from essentially two primary causes.
Chikti gangrezena ta soso nga rang teni nga cho loma chama gna ni nga ang tangbo yin samba te ta korang nga ma yin na lobcha chikang ang tangbo re teni nga rang gadi na nga ang tangbo yin go sambi teni halepa tobo kotobo teni samba teni nzimba halipa chimbo te chigres.
And the first of these is a very strong fixation or attachment to the idea that they must be the best.
Teni ni te kan rezena korang teni rang le laba te lojung ko thola teni jamje ko thola rang le laba teni mambu yore te yopati nguyo ko neser reze. Yena korang ko nguyo ko neser te tanglin shine sempar khashine nguyo ko neser te tanglin che go reda teni korang ko sempar go jamne nguyo ko neser te par kwagne o teni sheja pi gemsun chikte gemsun ni pa de teres.
And the second reason is the fact that they close their minds. They sort of retreat into a contracted state of not being able to accept the reality of a situation.
Teni gemsun te teni yendi ta ngaso sem kotoboshi go jab teni par kwa gandishi na ya te kwa thya yo mare korang ngu ko nesaje to ngubo tola korang shertang ga loma sige na korang pe teni lapa yagbore rikpa chawore teni rikpa tangbore jangde yagbore jete ta khole kyang lhaba teni mambo yopate nguyo nesaje te gakthap ko mares.
So this state, which is one of extreme closedness, of contractedness, of closing the doors to the reality. I mean, the reality is that the student may be bright and may be a very successful student, but the facts of the situation is that there are also others who are even better than them. So that reality, in fact, is not something that can be closed out.
Ti kapsa nga so teni thapsi go ondu se pena nga so teni tongcher ka lamkha la lung yo sa teni ka kabla teni nga so re ga thola yige trini jemdan da teni jabyo na teni te lung ka par chan mando chet riti thola bukhong teni mambo to di ore te yo na lung de bukhong to so na ne par ro re teni chat ko mare se ta nga so Demda teni tongcher kanala indua te mambos la teni pukong chong mambos ti rega tola teni pungduze te prio pate long de par yakpoti na nin roto ya jimsen jes.
So really at this point in time when a person is in a state of clinging, of deep fixation or deep contraction, we really need a method for addressing this. And we can liken this to advertisement billboards that are actually made of cloth that are hung in cityscapes. And if we look very closely at these billboards, actually their surface is punctured by many tiny microscopic little holes. And the reason for these holes is that the air can pass through the billboard without ripping or the wind when it blows can pass through the billboard without ripping and shredding the advertisement.
Tani karte jemda ti rejiti ngola teni puga chong to karte mena teni longte jabyong gore je longte kantar teni jab gore te korang nguyo ko nesate teni longte jabyong di teni longte paran roma tati teni rejete longte par gangro gore je te rejete longte gangna kantar yang teni rejete teni long teni gaktham ko mare te long rejete par jadni teni thangla yu gore.
Regardless of what the situation is, the wind is going to blow. That is reality. That is a fact. It can't be stopped. And if the billboard or the advertisement in question didn't have these little holes, then when the wind blew, it would essentially rip the fabric and blow it to the ground.
Tinga so par garne tendi she tang ne te tang de leng men se yinda men da korang ka sem ko na tang len ma che ne tendi she na teni ni ba ta nga so sem ti ma ka sa ne teni myom ban ro ta teni sem ko na pa tendi jen ro re se pe na lung ngo teni je ta chan ni tang la sa to la yu pa dan ro tendi jen ro re.
And it's the same, actually, this is exactly the same the way that our minds operate. So when we encounter particular situations or phenomenon, negative things, they are reality. We can't change them. But on account of not being able to accept whatever the reality is, or being able to deal with it, then just like the billboard that is blown to the ground, our minds also close down in a similar way.
Teni reziti tola puga pukung de yona teni sala malong te dan rabushini ngaso sem go tola yang teni tabshis che go ondu sem te yang ngaso yang kir teni samlo zu tane teni te go yang bo je jana teni ngaso pena ngale lagbi teni hale ba khabar ta babi teni loma mambu yona teni khorang tela teni khorang ka semkum napata teni je thab ko mare रेथब को मारे ती कापसंगा सो इन दामंदा ngaso sim go tola teni chu ngirwas tang go ndu par gushi go ndu.
So just like a billboard has all of these tiny little holes, we also need to find a solution like this for our own minds, so that when we encounter situations in reality that challenge us in the same way that, say, an outstanding student feels when they encounter the superior abilities of others, we are actually able to deal with the situation, to open our minds, to broaden them, and not be harmed by these kinds of manifestations in reality.
Teni ngaso tartan zambolong shi tone shapayin nana teni ngaso teni ta longshot teni ungbo teni chowan teni ngaso pamada pami kapta derna leba teni yarjirete chama hagores.
If we speak in a general way about the situation in the world today, then we can certainly say that in terms of material living, that we exist in a time that is probably unprecedented and is certainly better off in a general sense than, say, our parents' generations or generations before that.
옛날에 때당 냠도 되는 가서 샘고 돌아다니 되니 저다 샘 거양 보시 마트니 되니 등물 망보 되니 용 대화 되는 영 가서 파미 그 갑리 따다 되니 닌저 섬저 그 되니 더 제망라 등물 샘고 돈이 등물 된 가서 제망란 저요.
However, at the same time, probably in terms of our mental suffering and our mental pressure, that this is increasing triple-fold or four-fold, many, many more times than previous generations have experienced.
Teni tinji imbi kapsa ta ngaso kare gondo uzena pena ngaso teni shir chula tapa jena chokore korang mashina chokore teni tapa shina tinane pena ngaso nangba sarje wala tapa shina chokore mashina chokore te tapa shida mashiga tondak mare gantar korang la teni sim go tola yopi teni natun te takshu cheyaga tabshis gantar go re mato bate mena teni korang napa changro.
So in a situation like this, in the kind of societies that we live in these days, what we really need is a method for dealing with the sufferings of our minds. And whether or not this is something that entails having a religious faith or not, be that a Buddhist faith or a faith of another religion, is probably not of the essence. Any person or every person is equally needing of methods to deal with this predicament we find ourselves in.
Teni ngaso me teni nat lipola teni nat navi kapsa te ngaso teni man thongo yoresi ti man ti chikshina pena korang tapa yongkhen gmo chulu ga tapa yongkhen gmo teni zga man te korang ka sardut teni sheba ingire chikshina korang tapa tsawane menkhen zga teni sardut sheba ingire chikshina teni te chulu ga tapa ti nane pena korang ishi chulu la tapa yongkhen gmo charak pa teni zga man te sardut sheba ingire 직시나 되니 거랑 남바 산기 발라 다바싱근 것들이 차르 빠지고 만디 서투시 바인게레 직시나 되니 베라 거랑 같이 출lun다오 딘디즈라 되니 다바용근즈 것들이 다 서투시 바인게레 강스트리나 되니 가초티 무초 나나위네 겁나 어디 만디 다바용근즈 그 레와리다 메파즈 멘근즈 그 조레 땡가서 제가 말했대 날라 판토요나 가초 만디 자그레스.
If we're talking about medicine that we take to heal ailments of our physical bodies, we don't ask who made it, what faith did they have? Is this a medicine that was manufactured by a Christian or a Buddhist or a Muslim? We don't ask this. Clearly, we take the medicine if it is directly beneficial to our bodies.
Deni 때당 직발해서 당가서 어디니 샘금 것들이 놔둔데 바로 양보서 탁 줘야서 deni 누구도 안 만들어서 때가때 요나 ngaso teni chulu ga nangla yo na ja 출력 마임바 차르가 나라요 난자 심坑르방 나라요 난자 강가 나라요 나 당가서 당린 제고레 당린 마시나 되니 소소랑 그 심고 돌아요 빛나던데 다수시야가 답시요 말에 당가서 당린 제고운도
And it's exactly the same logic in terms of addressing the suffering of our minds, regardless of whether the methods are derived from science or from Buddhism or from psychology. Ultimately, if we're not able to take them on, then we're really left in a situation of literally not being able to deal with our problems.
다 딘디 인디 ngacho te semde pe ge yang bo shia te gandhi reze nam thomer ngacho perna nangba sangji panjao teni tapshi ge wang de shina gang reze nam perna nangba ge ina ngacho mi mangbo ze ge sang lo tang na nangba ge khorang ge gari ze ge reze na khorang ge 다 따따 옹우요 그 네서 때서 탐주 보라 파르 슈르니 옹우요 그 네서 때리 파라 요르니 요르탑시 너삼니 타비지 든디시가 너삼니 다 코소 든디삼 근도지 마망보즈 그 든디삼 근도지 남바 사지 바디 옹우요 그 네서 라 파라가 요르니 든딘 종근즈리 그런 거 든디즈 랍 근도삼니 가서 마망보즈 그 든디삼 거요레스.
So if we're going to talk about the Buddhist means of addressing the problems of the mind, well, first let's sort of address what some people think about Buddhism or Buddhists. In fact, a common misconception is that Buddhists are people who seek to avoid reality or avoid problems.
Then the marriage, ngacho nangba sanji pagena korang unguyo ko neserte Gandhi shine teni tanglin shi go reze ne tel thop go yoreze ngasola tel hopso ta ko yore ma to ba nguyo ko neser tela tru ne teni rothar tindi sha ko yo mare ngaso nguyo ko neser la tru go na trothop ko mareze tru thapshi yo mareze te na yinjing menjing ngaso te tanglin shi go re te na namba sanji ba ngaso tanglin shi cher ko thapshi te teni tal thop go yore.
However, this is fundamentally not the case. In fact, what is extremely central to Buddhism is, in fact, the conviction that reality is something that we fundamentally can't avoid. And so the ability to take on, to accept reality in whatever way it is primary to Buddhist practice.
Tanita dinji ending aso ta Gandhi chene tanglin che gozena aso ngupo gandang kang nanda Teni khorang go ngupo di ngachun sowa nangla teni ngupo tindizi yo sona dondak tindizi shong sona te khorang nguyo nesir reze yinna yang ti nguyo nesir ti ngachola teni dungmur yongoreta dewa yongoreta yangla dungmur chenbo yongoreta dungmur chungchung yongoreta te taschik to khorang go te ngupo khorang go tachu shi tabko mare ngacho sim go tachu shi go reze.
So in terms of looking at things that arise in reality, yes, it's true that events arise, that objects exist. However, in terms of the amount of suffering they cause us, whether they cause us suffering at all, whether they cause us great suffering or only little suffering, is this something that the event or the happening decides or determines, or is it something that we are in control of?
Di kapsa ngaso sim go namgir to teni ngupu te ngaso pena ngaso go chowa na la dondak chongchong su shong song na se me kashi go ina ta pena dondak chongchong su shong song na te halipa go te dondak chimbola tsgreze me kashi go halipa dondak chimbola tsne o ta ngan din reson ta din reson na yang ta yang neser mombuzu yungore ta maung bala nga chig ren ro re samne khorang go dondak chongchong le mena They are chimbo kidney, tindi same good tindishi ni tagre. Tindishi di, tini koranga same go tola dungar halipa chimbo yungre.
There are some people who, upon encountering a circumstance that is perhaps, let's say, relatively minor, nevertheless really blow it up. They sort of really render it in very mammoth proportions in their own perception, and on this basis experience great suffering.
Then, Kashiga pena korangan soaga nala, then 돈다 침분다고 던지스 쇼소나양 네 과랑가 셈 것도네 셈 뽑았겠네 셈 빠당당당 비고네 때때 돈다 침보즈 말에 때때 탁주시잖아 나랑 거 탁주시 탑거래 던지 잡침보즈 말에 삼네 그 던지 따 그러지 던지 따나 던지 능머때 시르당 침부 있나 던지 말 총총 렌도운도스.
There are other people, on the other hand, who, when experiencing or encountering events in life that are probably, let's say, generally regarded as rather major or extreme, are able to generate a kind of conviction or confidence in their ability to cope or address this situation, and on this account not experience great suffering. And I'd like to talk about this through an illustration, through an example.
Tani perna muschiko tani te koranga ta korang yin rambo la koranga tani ta koranga langkor yakbo tani nyogo samne ta tani samne ko yin rambo la tani rewa jamne tani yirmu mambo shi perna koranga trobo da koranga teso mo jamba cho tani langkor yakbo koryo ta ngala yang tani yona ta nge yin ta mata tani nge Ragore nyamne teni koranga ti sem ko nala mambo samni teni nyama chila teni koranga gormo mambo tapshi mambo shini gormo teza ragne teni langkhorde teni koranga nyo thojandus.
So we can liken it to a person who has been really thinking about and really deeply wanting and desiring to buy a car for a long time. They see those around them having cars or purchasing cars. They too formulate the idea that they need one as well, and through various means they accumulate the necessary money, and at the end of a period of time are finally able to buy one.
Tani koranga gari samgo origina koranga mi jamba cho tini langkor tindi zkor ne tini ndrovio ndro kaps ti koranga samna ota ngala tindi langkor zgbu yagbo zkoryo na nge ti kornin rona ta te pe kebu ingire chorwa kebu ingire tini mu jambo thamchi pola tindi me ngarang la tindi yona te pe nawa tubu ingire samne koranga ti samne tini langkor te nge rana samne yorangbo la tini samlo tangwaris.
And the thought of buying the car was sort of premised on the fanciful idea that when they had it, it would be such a great feeling to drive it out in public and be seen driving the car, a car that not everybody else had. And there was sort of this kind of projection that they often had.
Tani koranga langkorti nyone ta dawaschi dawani yana dawasum tendizka rangla teni koranga langkorti korna teni koranga chorwa ke boyong korang nawa ke boyong langkorti korangla nawa ke boda teni chorwa deada o tendi teni terke yores ti langkorti korangla dawaschi dawani dawasum tendizla terthuk yores.
For the first month, for the second month, and even for the third month, this person did indeed, or was indeed able to experience a very happy feeling from having purchased their car and driving it around.
Teni ti kaps perna dawaschi ta dawani ta dawasum tindiz ka nangla teni koranga langkorta jambazla dabjagna yana koranga langkorte borsona. However,
after, say, this initial period of 2 or 3 months, let's just say that the person crashed their car or they lost it somehow. Well, at this point, they experienced great mental suffering.
Now,
I would say that probably everyone here tonight has had a similar kind of experience.
Tini dawa nga jini tini kale koranga langkorti te korangla kebo chorwa kebo ta chi korang o ngarang ka haliba yakbore samne korang langkor nala deni mar pab muptra jinrawata te kale mendro res.
That after these first few months, that feeling of elation and happiness derived from having had the car slowly fades away.
Teni kale teni korang ka langkhor te korna yang ta nga so langkhor kiman rabo teni ma tok bati chorwati kola menro dos.
And eventually so that there isn't really much feeling whatsoever to be gained from having the car.
Teni ti kaps teni ta korang ka langkhor te jambala damna ra yana teni langkhor te teni porso na ra teni ti kaps te korang la digmuri yongda yongre semto la maki pa teni yongre ta yana dawa tambo da dawa ni pa teni kaps sa ni yong mare si ti kaps.
And if a person was to crash their car or to lose their car, let's just say at the 5th or 6th month mark, then it's true to say that they would have some kind of suffering. They wouldn't feel so good about it, but their suffering would probably be quite less than the intensity that they would have experienced to have lost or crashed their car in, say, the first month they had it.
Ta tin ra bozu ke penanga chu mo ni gum jerwa la samlo ta na mo ni gum jerwa halepa zapu jerwa halepa tang zapu imbi ne kabna tini mo jambati jangla manim bata mare patindi tez lena kaja shananda leka tindi lena ti khorang ka semla marki pape mangbu yong ko reziti jerwa halepa zapu imbi kaps pe na chiwa yenanda jerwa yenanda tindi halepa tang zapu imbi ne kabla tini mo jambati kaja shana Mazambati lekalena, ganglena, the moschibotela shikin halipa chimbo yungres.
And it's the same with relationships between people. When we are in extremely close or intimate relations with another person, then when they do something that doesn't please us, when they say something that doesn't please us, it really does engender a very strong reaction in us.
Tani koso tini tsiwayenna koso onjewayenna jewate kale mar teni penanga chuchi na tangbo yar korni teni tez mar kale teni chu jotsat mar yongwan rawreni tachi na tezen jambun raw teni chapi kapsre korang cho onjewada korang cho tsiwate mar yar halipa chimbo sone teni mar yone ta jang da boteni chapi ne kabna teni muzambati teni kajashana muzambati lekandra mandra lena tim muschubotela shikin tindi chembo yong manduse chembo yong mares.
So if we were to say talk about this in terms of romantic love or romantic affection, we can sort of say it's like boiled water. When it's at its most rolling boil, then when people say or do things that don't please us, then they really hurt us intensely or they really influence in an intense way. But when the water comes off the boil, when it cools down, maybe when it comes to a lukewarm or a tepid state, then what people say or what they do, it doesn't seem to affect us in the same way. Do you think that this is how it works?
Yeah. Is
Is it okay if I ask a few questions?
Yeah. Yeah.
First one's for you, Al.
Oh. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. The girl behind Alistair.
Yeah.
Do you think this is how it sort of functions?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Reason to
Re.
Yeah. Tini ti yenna körang samlo tana ti gimsun te kala tung sam gandus. Ma körang tinala shamato ko mindu.
Oh, sorry. What do you think the reason for that is? The fact that
the more you want something, the more disappointed you are when you don't get it.
Yeah.
Or the more you don't want something, the more upset you are when you do get it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, that's one reason.
Yeah. Tini ne te ola yoshi ndungdoa. O te trigins, yeah. Ti körang samlo tana ti gimsun sabati ndur denishana zawadi kangla thindus.
If you were to sort of put it in one pithy statement, what would you say the reason is for this intensity of suffering?
It's hard to put into words.
Shikamore. Yeah. Las. Shikamore. Yeah. Las. Tani tangin the shong ni chitruins, yeah. Tani de la chindo moranga, yeah, may ogola. Louis ogola. Yeah. Promotion to yeah. Kisamna, yakor. Yeah. Kerang samna, the Gimson de Penang Hamate. Korang dawati nala dawa kashi yo matosung yo mare. Teni dawa kashi konglana korang la dengmar hali ba chimbu yung gore. Teni dawa kashi ki jila yang teni dengmar chimbu yung mare. Ti sawa ngomati korang kariris. Ti langkur ti nyang bare sung rebda yang na kariris.
So what do you think is the really root reason that at one point in time, the feeling of losing the car or having the car is extremely happy, or losing the car is extremely sad, and then a few months later, this feeling is not so intense? What would you say the primary reason for this is? Is it the fact that the car has got old, or it's changed in nature, or something else?
I think because it's like you have the intensity of your attachment to your desire, I guess, makes you blinkered. So your view is very narrow. And then, for me anyway, when time passes or I have more, I can see more widely in time and then also in space. You feel less attached to one way of seeing. Your view is more open.
Teni tutsu yinbo 그 teni jesu pechi jinjak temde shukchenbo magzina teni pechi smell temde kutopo teni.
Yeah, wonderful. Yeah. Teni da ngazu bobaga nani ya chika telan gyoshoda ya ngazundana ju 결항이 야 큐 걔랑 그 삼나티 김슨 가리를 삼 거야 큐 어이 교회 난 죽건도 야야
it's 간절하니 떼빠나와 친구들이 가나니 누구 가라는 데라 떼빠 제가 데라 레와 친구지 잡지않 그런 진나고 참아 티한테 떼빠 들라고 나는 데라 지는 거지
야 대시 기르다
To have a strong desire for something, then one is, one has a very strong desire for something, then one has intensity of feeling, and then with the passing of time, if that intensity of desire lessens, then so does the mental attachment.
야, 더니 참마가 란페 약보 잡송세 띠낭네 란띠낭네 다른 가서 뽑아치기요 아 때당더니 화랑니까
Everybody's answers were extremely good. In my view, I thought the nicest answers were on this side of the room.
Yeah. 당에때 페스티그고니 시작이인데 페스티그고니 페르나 아랑가 락바가 나란드 njena 아랑가 락바가 든디 존에 락바가 즈가 보트가 dumni dindi teni deyo nerkabna teni shik chimbo zga teni par chosona te ngarang lakpa ga par matangna par tang mashina nga dindi zungni dadana ngarang zga kanri rindo gorez.
So if we would illustrate it by using my hand grasping the microphone as an example, let's just say that I'm really grasping it so tightly, I'm using all of my energy, I'm expending all of my energy on grasping the microphone, then what happens?
Yeah, you get
tired.
다른 간디린도 그러지. 하정식 침보 있나?
Let's just say that even more than that, the grasp is so tight.
Break your microphone.
Yeah, there is it. Yeah. Then in Aranga, margin in the dish in Ivjana, the dish in Ivjana, the Nita Shik Chimbo with Chersona, then I love like young girls. Then Aranga Lapago, then he Carwundo, the dish Tambo Manjini, the dish in the dish in Ivjana, then he Shik Chimbo on the Parkesona, then I'm so like yours.
If, on the other hand, I was to rest the microphone lightly in my hand like this, but a strong force was to rip it from my hand, would my hand be hurt?
Police?
No.
No. Yeah. There is. Then, yeah. Then also, Nama lo tongcha nida ngabja gorola. Then also nangba tini suar baganala, then la baganala, tini shachushia, the tapshisha, labanala.
So, 1250 years ago, the Buddhists were able to perform an operation on the top of the head.
Then it take Congressana, then labanala mbushioris, mbu. Then mbuti, Koranga Kamba Lapatama, then at Labaga Saganala and the dish in Tamioris. Tamiona, the capacity embodied in the Lenjana, the Ningazo Labaga Sato, so Chata Chunchon, so the knee Makashini, Mo Wambo Matsawanda, indigenous race.
So I'm not exactly sure if I've got this entirely correct, but there was a case of some kind of bug or very small creature inside the head, and that had very strongly grasped the inside organ, and if it was removed in this way, then all of the person's faculties would go with it.
Then the capsule, the Mamba de Sokoso, Tashi Country Tang Dozena, the Koranso Mbutiara Lenya, the Gamba de Meganala Tabushi or is it Tabu? Then Gamba the Tabushini. Botelan the Nishini Zonjana, then he Gamba de Tapu in Bigimson, then he Mboti, then he Kalaba Saman the Nishan Doris. Tanchan Doris, Kalaba, then he are Lenjana, then he Labaganala, then he Satisula Kyung Kumarisi, Gamba Tapurwa, Gamba Tapu, Botelan Zonjana, then him Boti Labata, Gamba Samba, Chasalan, the Geopati, Partenti, Shindoris. So what
they had to do is find a way to make the bugs release their extremely tight grip that their legs had on the vessels. So it was necessary somehow to relax their grip, relax their legs so that they could be removed in a way that didn't harm the person's blood vessels or capillaries in their brain.
Then they don't speak Paris. Tangazo Tarikona Shapateris and Gazo Umbochu, then Tangazo Umbo Lankuri and Nandra, Gang and Nandra, Tingazo Tambushin in the Tambushin Simganala, as a Simgan did Tobushin in Zio Picasso, then it Koran Yorwasona, Yana Koran Nazota Prarsona, then also Simganala Machimbuzoris.
And it's the same with a human being. When they're in a state of extremely tight fixation on something, when they're grasping extremely tightly, when they're attached in an extremely strong way, then to wrench them from the object of their attachment in a sudden or kind of violent way can cause them a great harm or a great wound.
Teni di kapsa teni ta ngaso tapsi kanggo orezenam ta ngaso perna Tindi perna ngaso tari lagpa teni karbuti landindi tambu jiwine kamna teni koran shichembo tensona teni zego lagpa sama mepa tangare ti kapsa kangro gozena teni koran kan timbi ne kamna ngara pasa tangjo gore te tangshi go nduwas.
So it's just like me when I'm holding the microphone. If I'm grasping it extremely tightly and then suddenly a huge force comes to take it away from me, then in that process my whole hand will be destroyed. So what I need to do is have the knowledge to release my hand when that force comes so that the microphone can leave my hand and not harm it.
대 모랑가 란자바들이 란야부 잡송세 되는 내 카르테 땅 마시나 되는 락바 사마 젠조 그래 저거 사마 젠조 그래.
So you answered very well. If I don't know to release my hand, if I don't know to relax it, then it will, my hand will be injured.
Then it tikas the tongue at some garwas than trackers and at some garwas than tracker. Congressina. Then he partangona, then also same gonani, tang tabguyo maris. Then he matangna, then also dumur chimbu grace.
However, at this point, we find ourselves in a state of conflict, in a state of contradiction. On the one hand, if we say we're talking about releasing the object, well, we can't release it. But on the other hand, in clinging to the object, it causes us great suffering.
Tati kapsang atsung garwari, ta yana atsu sem ganani par tangores, the yana atsu sem gana matang in zungore, jeti, dong ngupu tolatini perna langkorte. However, it's
just like the car. Let's just say that it's stolen by a thief, and our mind is extremely fixated and attached on this. Well, it's not going to do anything. It's not going to do us any benefit. The fact of the car being stolen is as it is.
Semganani matanga nikate te ngasola kekangre jongkangre zini tsubdas jamna te titola tsiz japjindus.
So we need to be able to actually calculate in this kind of situation what the respective benefits and losses are of grasping onto something or releasing it.
Tani tsiz jamna ta ngaso langkorte korang makashsat korang cholata yana jamne tini ta tsawane manim bache yana mojam baze kene tini song chate de te ngaso semganala ganji gone semganala tambunzna ko laryang yong revezena te ko yongji menduz.
So in a situation where the car's been crashed, it's been taken away, it's been lost, etc., then no matter how tightly we cling or grasp to the idea of the car, it's not going to bring it back. It's not going to achieve this at all.
Tani karti ti nekamna ngaso semganane anteni tang mathani tini jena ta langkorte tini makasya ta ti tola tarung ngaso semga tola anteni yanampo latini dumur yongndwa tini tena ngaso chungni rangro ndose chine langkor makasya so nini ngaso semkum ko tola dumur mambo yong teni dumur yong gemchenji ngaso yang shawa jamba mambo la yang shikin te teni jena ngaso chungni rangro ndose karti semganane partang matana.
So if we're actually not able to release our mind in this kind of situation, then we incur two kinds of loss. First, there is obvious the loss of having lost our car. But second is the suffering that we endure as a result of not being able to release ourselves from the fact that our car has been lost. And then this state of mental suffering is something then that affects other things in our life. And so that suffering actually multiplies.
Tani karte ngaso semganani par tang thavna semganani par tang tini thavsona te ngaso chongchik matok ba tini rakam marezi chongchik poti ngaso langkor me pa chakso te matok ngaso semganala dungar mamboti yong mare te ngaso chongchik matok menduze chongni o mare chongchik matok menduze.
However, if in this situation we are able to release our minds, then we only find ourselves incurring one kind of loss, that is the loss of having lost our car.
Teni ti nekamna langkor meba chakbalda langkor cholok sjerwati nguyu ki nesreze te kora nguyu nesreze.
So in this situation, the fact of our car being lost or being crashed or damaged or whatever is a true fact. In an objective sense, this has happened.
Teni nguyu nesrti ngaso ti kapsetini ta tanglin che gorese nguyu nesrti tanglin che na teni ngaso semganani par torzinandra 양나 때니 nguyoneser ota langkorte chaksar sonse 양나 borsar sonse ta kantar te nguyonesete ta te nge tandaleng yen samne tendi shejana tendi langkorte para semganani tor jagbare par tang jagbare semla ngubu korong meba chagreta yana semla tin no payung kumare.
So at this point in time, if we're able to accept this fact of the car being lost or damaged or stolen, to deal with this, to accept this as the reality it is, then harm won't come to our mind.
Tani ti kapsa tanga so perna kumada tini kumada jagbada tini tini chani ngaran sola tini kharang gork kershok ze tini zena tani ti ne kumna nga so yana gormo pharta kyata gardi matna tini so rang lipola tini ta choncha ga tini armada yana chola yang nyenka yore ti ni gnala tini nga so gang dam go rezena ti kapsa tanga so gork ti pharagi gite rezena so ta lipota chok yakbo resona gormon tine nga so yang kir zarna chokore tena ti kapsa nga so ta lipota chok te dam gore gormo dam gamare gormo pharagi gores.
It's just like, let's say we're in a situation where we are being mugged and the assailant demands that we hand them our purse or our bag. Well, in this situation, we're presented with two choices, either to yield our possessions to them or not to, and on that account be stabbed with a knife or perhaps even lose our lives in the result. So by yielding our bag in that situation, we certainly lose that. We lose our money, but of course we can probably earn it again. At any rate, what we do preserve is our life.
Pe te tang ra bo she ni ti kapsa tini ta nga so langkor te tini me ba chakna ta korang me ba chak song se te nga so par lo tang ina nga so simkum te tini de thang re de na simkum yakbo de thang re de na tini nga so gale gormo song ne yang langkor yang nga so nyona tini korkab yores karti nga so ti kapsa tini langkor te la sang lo tang ne tini to simdug mangbo sang ne tini che jana nga so simkum de tini nat re so na tini chi ma nga so tini langkor yang nyoya yo mare machis chibo tini choklak tang gare ti kapsa ta ti na ne nga so dam kha she go na simkum go de thang te nga so dam go gres.
And in the same way, when we experience a unpleasant happening in our lives, when we lose our cars, for example, then by accepting this fact, whilst we lose our car, and that is a reality, we spare ourselves from the mental suffering that comes with us. If we, in fact, hold on to that mental suffering, if we harbour it for a long time, it can cause us all kinds of strife, perhaps even result in mental illness. So really, in that situation, what we're choosing between, or what we are choosing to gain, is, in fact, our mental wellness.
Teni nga so namgin ina nga so moschigi na teni ndoba mambo yore nga so teyang ala go changma go ne chikyang par tor ko man samni teni sam gareta ina ndendi ga neser musur ko kapsa teni nga so yenda manda damga shi go re chik par tor chik ser len teni ma tok bata niga yoya ti kapsa yung mare.
Of course, in the ordinary course of life, we find ourselves wanting this, wanting that. We've got all kinds of desires, and we certainly don't think, oh, well, I'm willing to sacrifice this or that. However, in particular situations where we really have to make a choice, it's important that we are able to see what we need to hold on to, or that which we want to protect, and that which we need to yield in a situation.
Teni ti kapsa ta nga so kandi che go re na ta nga so thapsi shi go re ma to ba nga so thapsi mena nga so la thapsi yakbo zo mena teni nga so sem gona ne par tor gona ti tor thab ko mare je mus dang se na pe na nga so sem gona la dumur mambo yung teni gomo marani gona ni yakbo mukh teni nyama mambo re ti teni ni ma khna lipola nab mambo yung teni leka lagba gona ni shur teni mambo yung re However, in
terms of yielding and releasing our minds in such situations, without having a method that we can rely on in order to do so, then it's probably not likely that we'll be able to do it. So even though that we may know that, releasing or yielding in that situation is what's going to be in our best interests, without a method that we're not going to be able to do it, and then we're going to have the same problems of harboring the suffering and everything that goes with that. It'll negatively affect our health, it'll negatively affect our working lives and other aspects of our lives as well. So it's important that we have a method.
Tani te pernanga cho tani rinzak tani shernir kang tani zak tani mo ringo lan zangking mo chithambala tani koso jiglen yore ti pe ti tone koalena koape yakbolen yores rinzak shenking tani shernir kang tani zak tani ringo lan zangking mo chithambala koso la jiglen yore te koso ringo lan zak thamna kandi yenzene koso la mianshizena ngorjik tani len yores pe ti tone ngai pe ti ngramba jun sha yung ge pe ti tone koalena ta ko ya polen yores.
So there is the example of a company that has obtained insights into mountain climbers.
Tadi ya buzgoso perna nfshuk tani rinzak tani shirnir kan chik ko shirnir kan ga rinzak shin kan ga mambosir dani ta s rinzakla shina ti rinzak tani le ti ngorshu tinala s yona gasare zene ko jigslendus rinzak tangshan yundong oya tani ti mo chithambala so tani jiglen yores o ti jigti lord giding shayon te thone koalena ya bolen yores.
So this was an investigation that was undertaken among 10 mountain climbers as to into who was the more successful among them and why.
Tani koso tani shanir khanding jig kandilen juzina ngorjik kandilen juzina ta perna khorang chomo lama ga thola tani drone te relan zakpine kamna ti khorang ngon te la tani musjig ndozi tani khorang mutte dang khorang ni ga parla komba chima tokpa menduze komba chima tok mendu tani ti parla tani yana khorang ti musjig boti khorang ngola komba chinro sant nga jila komba chilindu karti mati mena ngarang tes komba chigum jogna da ngarang ang tangboren jogres nga atang boren jogwa ta karti khorang komba chigum hulan ro saso ta khong ang boren jogre tindizi yona kyo gari che ye jeni tini kosola chiri jawab konduzi jiglen pikas jawab konduzi.
So they posed questions to these 10 mountain climbers, and they said, so what would you do if you're on a mountain face and ahead of you, 10 paces, is another mountain climber? They are in the first place. If you were ahead of them or if you were in their situation, you would be number one. What do you do in this situation?
Tini ngamar gebudi kandi lanjam duzena ota ngarang katini nrandershia gammatini rewa njaya gammatini nransu shisa gammatini ngasu komba chima to manduwasi ta komba chima to mena ngarang komba chapar dignity nga khorang ga ngolandroni tani rungolandro yenzene mur guti tinti shandus.
The way that 9 people answered, they said, what I'd do is I would just charge ahead, I would run those 10 paces and get in front of them.
Tani mur chapati khorang country zenduzena ta mo jabati zina ta khorang mo jambata khorang ngarang le ngol la tini ta komba chitni khorang rona chok ti man rona chok ngarang rang tini chomo lama risila ngarang kampani jakthya te ngarang ga zurji yente khorang ngol rona man rona nga kage te chabar mezini tindi nga kale ro zini khulan tindi jamdu ze mo jabati.
But the 10th person said, well, to me, I wouldn't really do anything. Ultimately, the fact that if I personally am able to reach the peak of Mount Everest, then that will be my own achievement. And regardless of whether that person is in front of me or behind me, that is ultimately what I'm aiming for. That is how the 10th person responded.
Teni Renzakshini County, Teni Murguti, or Tenita Zambala Dramdrshinita, Naro Jinjo, Hoptica Jikins, Teni Shajati, or the Kyoran, Rengolandrona, Kyoto Shirion Tosamare, Kyoto Jintro Masons, and Murguti Jim Mantropashintos. Murguti, Korangapena, Narangula, Mur Chikamba, Combat Chima, Tomandoatanga, Jikins, Combat Chilanga, Jik, Inkayans, and Atendishini, Dandrishina, Teni Korantin Jujana. Koran Zalzam Machina, Tini Koran Hongore, Tainate, Kyoto, Jintro Mason, Kyoto, Carti Rengolandrona, Jomo Lomangolandrona, Shirion Tosamare, the Kyoto Jintro Masons in a Koso Lin Mandusi.
So this, these questions that they were posing to these climbers was in order to choose the most probably qualified climber. And what the company determined was that the first 9 people who answered that they would run ahead to get in front of the first person were not qualified to be a proper climber, for the very reason that by running and charging ahead, it's likely that they would have slipped and fell off the mountain, or at any rate not have been able to return.
Teni mo chipatila kyorang jing chondugsi, ta kyorang kangrang golandrona, kyorang tosare, kyorang chondugsi.
And the 10th person, they said, so you've passed the test, you're the most qualified person for the very reason that you would be able to get to the top and also come back.
Te country is in a most chipoti, the most jambati holandron and a mandron and ngarang, then it jomolama resilandro to get the thing, arangas Matote, Jambanga, Kosongolandrona and Chonta, Mandrona, Nangola Tonsona, Yapore, in our Koransongolandrona, take you with the Naran and Roy or some Koran, Samba Tambores, the Nikoran, Jumtro.
So the person who said that regardless of whether there's someone before me or someone behind me, the fact that I actually reached the top of the mountain is my honor and that's my priority, this person was chose as the candidate.
다 대당 라보시니 가서 낭바가나니 탑시강치고 그래서나 배나 가서 로마니 다 코니 장진 라본라보용네 든디시비네 겁나 드닝 직보디 어다 나랑 싫당 나랑 것들이 로중 것들이 주장을 할리반 통보 있나양 다 잠바티 때쯤 토나 드니 코랑라 마르가와치 드니 마르가와티 드니 차독시 드니 야나 코랑라 득다바다 야나 코랑 것에 마키 바용네 코랑 말송하다 든지젠도래 드니 잠바타 드르나티니다 든지젠도도스.
And so from a Buddhist perspective, we can say it's the same in terms of two students who are both very bright. They've both got they're both of very able academic performance, but one of them is such that when another gets the slight edge on them, they feel resentment, they feel jealousy, and harbor other kinds of negative mental states.
Then pena di kapsang aso nangba nala kantishayorizina then koso di tabti mebachiya tondala then korang ke jisi yarang zya then di tabshizu de korang so de godrukshen dos jisi yarang.
And the way from the way that the Buddhist take on how this student who feels this way can go about relieving themselves of this pattern of feeling negative when other people have the edge on them is through developing the ability to rejoice in the merit or positive attainments of others.
Then jisi yarang zya di kantisharizina pena ngaso loma ni gotini ramnyum go ni lojongshina chigbote ngale te chal habotin dishona te nguyo nesres te nge tangdelengo ore te nguyo nesres.
So two students who are usually studying in relatively similar kind of way with similar kind of ability, when one slightly achieves something or achieves in a slightly better way, that is a fact. That's the situation as it is, and that is something that needs to be accepted. However, without a strategy, a means, a method, a way, then it's really not possible for a person to accept this.
Then tabshiti kangrezina ti kapsangacho then soso rans chibolan dang marge bachi janla yang dang jamne teni ranjin ramnyum chine jambala ngarang la iti yondeng yona yonsri yakboyona ngarang pe gagreze ten rabozo ke teni mi jamba chola yang yonsri yona te korang pe gagreze ni teni samgores.
So in that situation, we aim not to just be thinking about ourselves, but to think that as it is when I achieve something, I feel very happy about it. So too does another when they experience something positive.
Teni tikap ka thapsi ti kangre jina ngaso dagjin jiwa zeya teres dagjin jiwa rang tini sala mi jamba jak tini jamba ga sala mi rang jerne dagjin jiwa zeya ga samlo tansar ziyore te samlo tansar yakshu.
So we call this exchanging self for other, and when we're able to do this in such a situation, this is really the best method, or one of the best methods we can have.
Tani te ngaso perna nupshuk rigne ga nala samlo tampaya na kap te mandrik panda ore sam tendi sam khen yong yores. Mandrik.
In terms of Western culture, there are maybe some points or aspects that are a bit problematic.
Tani perna jamba te so yarji sona tini nge da jarka to khola jin tendi samlo tana tini ngarang yarjin ro mare tendi njig mare tini indamda nga yarjin ro go kho yarji manro wa che go samni tendi sam go gore samni mkhashi tendi sam gores.
Probably some people feel that when others advance ahead of them, that by allowing this situation to take place, they are going to be put backwards and they are going to be disadvantaged by allowing this to take place. So in some ways, we need to think about a way to prevent another person from getting in front of us.
Tini te partana, shiso utoni tana, te dimbandra boresi, o te nilindu sambandra o tindi resi.
Probably, I mean, if we look at it from a factual point of view, or maybe an external point of view, we could say that maybe that is the case.
Rite tu ngubu thone samlo tana, tini ti kapsa tini mus jamba te ngale lhapa yemba te nge tangling gangtar ngarang ka tangling chi gore mato ba te tangling chi matavna te par gagba ta tindi chena tini ngarang jile chang jili lan rogres.
However, in actual fact, that is exactly the kind of time when, through being unable to take on and accept the fact that this is the situation as it stands, then we will in fact drive ourselves backwards and increasingly backwards.
Pena ranzak katini mteso ta mtambo te ta mnipati parla komba chima to mena mnipati samna ta komba chitinga par jignjok korang ngolando samna tenga so partana shitso ni tana nga so hobd katana o tin jingdu samba ti samlo tin jingdu te yagbore tindi gogore samba ndo tindi rezi te shirtsang nga so partana tab debo chini tana samlo yagbo matana tindi rezi.
If we look upon things in a simplistic way, yeah, I mean, you could say it's just like the two climbers are on the mountain and the one who is ahead of the other. It's true that from a very simplistic and short-term and sort of sense that by propelling oneself forward and running that you'd get in front of the other person.
Rite jimu goni samlo tana tini koranga ang tangbo te loya ga chet tini zabzab machine tini par jigjang ke tini yana tini ko tini maral hongne ta tang te mayna korangla ang tangbo mena ang ni pan rawo tini korkub yore ta korang korkub tsawani me parene tini lang rogre tita chigbores.
However, clearly by running ahead, there's a very strong likelihood that a person would slip, they would fall, and not only would they, if they had continued in their steady state, they may have obtained second place. By falling off the mountain, they sacrifice everything in the one go.
Teni ti tondala nga so namba nangla ti na simkum ko thola teni jongder ke chet teni samlo tansar mambo teni kodukshen doze.
So in order to train our minds to be able to deal with situations in such a way that we're able to accept reality and spare us from such situations, we've really got a lot of methods, a lot of ways in the Buddhist toolkit.
Deni pena ti kapsa ta ngarang ke jisi yarang shine ngai lobchok te pena ngale lhaba rendu korang yonchen ngale lhaba rendu ta pe yakbore korang tini ngale lhaba rendu tini ngale lhaba yonsona ngaso lobchan din nangla tini korang ang tambu rendu tini ang tambu yonsona ta ko pe korang sem gagre pena nga ang tambu re sona nga pe sem gagndua tin rapo shine korang ang tambu re sona te korang pe sem gagndu ta te halipa yakbore korang tini resonwa te pe yakbore samne ngarang tini sem ganani tangdalen ne ngarang titola 코랑 라티니 가와 곰니 틴디 시에잖아 더니 디 나랑 셈토라 나사이 셈 나사용 거 말에 나랑 질리레 거 말에 나랑 셈 가비 토네 나랑 텔리장 야진로 그래서
So by training ourselves to arouse joy and pleasure in the achievements of others, in the same way that, say, our fellow student achieves better than us, by being able to realize that just as I would feel glad if this happened to me, this person obviously feels good that it's happening to them, and on that basis I feel glad for them. The ability to be able to do this, to be able to train ourselves in this kind of habitual response is something that can spare us from a great deal of suffering and perhaps the development of more long-term negative mental affliction.
드니 가서 시르땅 가서 남긴 있나 지금 잠님자다 드니 참만 잠님 고하다 참말하더니 또 냠보 약보고야 드니 미 참마 같은데 쉐쉐 그러지 제다 또 우보 돈이 가서 쓰이나 미 게르 쓰다 쓰이나 잠님 자가네 용거 말에 가서 나랑 약보 용거 삼네 드니 삼고요레스.
So even though we are always talking about how we're all the same, we're all equal, we're all yes, it's all equal, we're all the same. In actual fact, when it comes down to it, we do tend to think in a rather selfish way that we should be better or we should have more.
Tini te neser te ta tindi yengoti tini ngaso te la thomer rugby jongle la tini tindi she go gimsen de kangrese ngaso lojong she go rugby jongle ko tone tambo ko yak bos lengore lojong she go res.
So in order to train ourselves, or in order to, in respect of being able to generate this kind of ability to deal with this situation, it's necessary that we first have an intellectual understanding of what the benefit of being able to do so is.
Tini gimsen te yak po ko sarwijini tini ngaso gomgyab go res ngaso gomgyab ni sem kanala ti gimsen te so yang ne yang to samne o yang samne pena mi jamba ngarang ko lobchok te ngale tini yang takbare ngale tini yunsen thombore sona tini ngarang gargo gimsen te kangre nga samlo mambo tangne o tini re te nga go gago ndu ti gimsen ndu sambate soso rang ti sem kanala ngishi ya poche go res.
So after having developed an intellectual understanding of the logic or the merit of doing such a thing, we need to really deeply reflect on it in meditation, contemplate this very deeply, so that we in fact are able to generate a confidence in this, in being able to approach situations in such a way in our minds.
Teni gimsen te ngaso yakpo lojong she ne teni nge tanglen she tsarwi jini teni nge ta zo teni nge samlo tane samlo tone jondr she ne yerangbo jondr she na teni kale ngune chane ngarang ga teni rikpa ga tone rikpi jonglu ga tone nge te yi tenti che gogore te yin gogore samba tenti maimbar laling ga tone ngune chane mi jambaz yunse tenti yonkhendu yona teni ngarang yang pe simla gane o tang ngi lobchok te pe yunse yakbondu ngale yang lakbarendo pe yakbore samne ngarang simla gayong gres.
So by really being able to rehabituate our minds through contemplation over and over in a meditative situation, we're able to generate this confidence in the merit of approaching situations in this way, such that when we encounter a situation where someone is better off than us or whatever, we don't have to think in an intellectual way. Oh yes, but you know, I'd be happy if this was me, and now they're happy now, so I should be happy for them. We don't have to think in such a mechanical way or an intellectual way. We'll have already habituated ourselves such that our instinctive reaction is to feel glad for another person. And through doing this, we'll spare ourselves great suffering.
Tani ngarang so namgin ngaso samlo tanserte kandirisa zena ngarang so samna o tendi samnyam gumare tendi samna ngarang la nopa yore te ko yargi sam manto wa tapshi shego re tendi ko yargin to wati yakbore samne te ngai tendi jise yana tendi shena ngarang la no kare samne nga chu namgin tindi sam kare.
But of course, our ordinary thoughts or our ordinary attitude is that to feel joy or sympathetic pleasure for empathy for other people's achievements is something that brings harm or disadvantage to ourselves, and that rather than do this, we need to think of a way to prevent them from getting ahead.
Jeti ti nga chu so rang yarjin roya la no pa yore vezina te no pa tsawane yo mareze nga chu yarji so rang yarjin roya la no pa me pa matz teni tenji gtini semkam te la tenne te ngarang chu teli jang yarjin rores.
However, this is fundamentally not the case. Not only will being able to generate, being able to rejoice in other people's good fortune spare us suffering in an immediate sense, it will also enable us to flourish personally ourselves.
Ota tinti te nga chu lehlapo othone teni semkham go teni anatun tachu chia go teni gum gyablik zireze te kate jipu teni tang zapo teni teni lojong she samna teni nga chu shunjik la lojong she go re shangchu seng shobalan jikpa te la lojong she na tinana pe mangbota pe tang zapo ta yabu yores.
So this method that I've just been speaking about, if it's something that you're interested in learning about in a deep and profound and subtle and very close way, then I would recommend you studying the way of a bodhisattva.
Tani nga cho lo shonji ka nala ta kanti yore ze te nga cho ta nyamling chilu ngomati kante thapsing ngomati kante re na tani nga cho terang dindi ga chuzo ni ga nala changma sha thawya dindi yo mare tani nga cho yang jima muntne ne tani rimji rimbe tani lo jong she go re tani shina tani nga cho changma ti thapsi de so yak bo shi ung go re.
Now, unfortunately, within the space of a couple of hours, it's not possible to really go into great detail the process of how we would go about really practicing on generating this sort of habituated response. However, it is something that over a longer period of time, by committing ourselves to learning about it, that we will be able to gradually familiarize ourselves with these methods.
Tani tenji gu goni nga chu semkham ka na tunde thakchu shena te nga chu man zawale tani gyanjir tongjer te yabo yore man thwale te gagres.
So we can say that by being able to practice in such a way, or being able to deal with reality, to accept reality, confront reality through such methods, is far more preferable than taking medicine.
Tani pena nga chu shunjik nala yo pitini thapsi te chonga so peshet tane nga so semkham gotini natun te so mar mepa chena tene nga so namba sanji ware rento rewezena tengi pa yo mareze karte chora namba sanji bala tapa mena yo kyong mare yena namba sanji pa nala yo pi thapsi te so te chora rang peshet tana cho so rang la pantong rore.
So the methods that are expounded in the way of the bodhisattva, if we put them into practice, does this make us a Buddhist automatically or by necessity? Absolutely not. It doesn't mean that you're necessarily a Buddhist by doing this. However, they certainly benefit practices or methods that can be of benefit to anyone.
Ya tini nga chu chapta chwa chilin chama te imjik josong chamala te ji chi ji yin.
Thank you, everybody.